are now going to get into kind of the Ryder Cup equipment, the clubs that these guys are playing. Yeah. We just kind of did a deep dive on, their most recent what's in the bags. Obviously, it's all subject to change based on what they're feeling, or maybe they've been trying out a new club and they're finally going to put it in, or the conditions of the course. But we kind of got our most recent updates from GolfWRX, kind of partnered with them here. And we just kind of looked at, are there certain clubs that are played more often than others, certain brands? Are there certain equipment trends, mallet blades, mallet putters, blade putters? And then we also just want to highlight some of the unique clubs.
Yeah, there's a few really good ones in that category.
Yeah, so starting with kind of the most popular equipment. For the driver's side, it's not a runaway winner overall when you factor in all 24 players. You have 8 Titleist drivers out there, so about a third of the field playing a Titleist driver. U.S. a little heavier. They have 5 of those 8, so almost 50% of the U.S. team playing a Titleist driver, 3 on the Europe side. Interestingly, the 5 U.S. players all play in GT. The 3 European players play in a previous generation.
Oh, wow.
So, interesting there. When it comes to fairway woods, this one was kind of a clear-cut winner. TaylorMade fairway woods. 11 players have a TaylorMade fairway wood in their bag, including a lot of non-TaylorMade players.
I think that's back-to-back years now. TaylorMade's had a really, really good showing in general on tour with their fairway woods.
Yeah, and the selection of fairway woods, we'll get into more on the unique, but there's clubs from 2025 and 2015.
Yep.
So there's a wide selection of TaylorMade fairway woods. 4 on the U.S. playing TaylorMade fairway woods, 7 on the European side. And then kind of not shocking, but Vokey wedges, the most popular wedge. You have 12 players that have at least one Vokey wedge in their bag. 11 have them in their primary scoring wedges, so their sand wedge, their lob wedge. And then golf ball Titleist dominates. I think it was 13 or 14 of the players have it. 9 are playing Pro V1X or some Pro V1X prototype. So nothing surprising there, but and then the irons, it's kind of a big mix of everything, shockingly. But those were kind of the 4 areas there really was a standout among the rest.
Yeah, I think that, there's a couple things in there that I think are worth noting. The TaylorMade fairway woods and the way they're running away, I think that's worth emphasizing again. That's back-to-back years now with QI10 and QI35. It really seems like TaylorMade has knocked those fairway wood, series out of the park. But I think overall, to see Titleist on top with drivers, where if you were to say that 8 or 10 years ago, that would have surprised a lot of people, I think, just given it shows the leaps that they've made in the driver category with talk about the TS series, TSI, TSR, and now GT. They've been making some really good drivers.
Yeah. Interesting enough, on the putter side, it's a little between the 24 players, 6 Scotty Camerons, 6 Odyssey, 6 TaylorMade.
Oh, wow.
Those are the tops among. And then you have, your Bryson Sick putter. You have
a lab in there,
a lab,
too.
A Bettinardi.
Sure.
A few pings, but it's just interesting that there's not a consensus. It's 666 across the board. So that was pretty good. And then we looked into, kind of the top trends. There are certain things that we saw that kind of stood out about, what these guys played. And the biggest one, and you and I were talking about it yesterday, mallets versus blades when it comes to putters. Blade putters were all the rage, kind of what everyone played, and then slowly but surely mallets came along, and they've just kind of exponentially increased their footprint, where I think now there's more players on the PGA Tour, you can correct me if I'm wrong, playing a mallet putter now than a blade, and it is overwhelmingly mallet putters here. 20 out of 24 is their latest reported what's in the bag. Now, like I said, there could be some changes, but that's 90% of the field playing a mallet putter.
That is wild, but also I'm not that surprised to see. Now, what I would love to do is go back to the Ryder Cup and, even 2021 or 2018, and to see what that number looks like, because I bet it would be very different. I think people are noticing. I think a lot of people are switching into these mallets, and it seems to be working for a lot of guys. The most basic example of this is Scotty Scheffler and how dramatic his success has turned by switching into that Spider Tour X, and he just has been dominant since then.
Yeah, and the TaylorMade Spider Series, Spider Tour Series, and the Scotty Cameron Phantom line, the 2 most popular series / models between those. Another thing was, this one's not like too shocking of a thing, but when it comes to having the pitching wedge as part of your iron set, right? So
sure.
A lot of players you'll see on the PGA Tour, you'll see a lot of guys with a 46-degree Vokey and whatnot kind of acting as a pitching wedge, but interestingly enough, 15 of the 24 guys are playing a pitching wedge as part of the iron set, which kind of goes to show you, like, if most of these pros are playing a pitching wedge, then we should all probably be too.
Yeah, we probably should. It's a good indication of so many of these guys opt for just a little more forgiveness when they can. You're seeing also more of these iron sets, A, are combo sets, and B, are more of a cavity design versus, blades as it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, and you had Kevin Kraft talking about the GT13 Tour fairway wood and just kind of talking about the trend on the Tour is just more forgiveness. Like, you're still performing, but you're just getting more forgiveness. If you miss a little bit, it's going better.
Yep.
You're seeing that here in those pitching wedges. And then finally, the other kind of trend we saw was high lofted fairway woods. Almost a third of the field has either a 7 or a 9 wood in their bag. 7 out of the 24. One of them just recently, Ben Griffin, put a 7 wood up into his bag. Took out his Mizuno utility iron, which that's also not surprising. You're seeing a lot more players opt for these kind of higher launching clubs. So
higher launch, more stopping power with those. It's a different look for sure to get used to if you're making that switch like Mr. Griffin is. But in most cases, as long as you're not already a really high ball hitter, and most people can't get those long utility irons or long irons super high in the air, most of the time these high lofted woods are the better play.
And yeah, going into, so those are kind of the top trends in equipment. Now we're going to look at some of the most unique clubs, and there's so many cool clubs here. I don't know where to start. Obviously, Bryson DeChambeau is kind of an anomaly. Every club in his bag is unique.
Everything in his bag.
So we aren't going to go too deep into Bryson stuff, but I'm just going to list some of the clubs. You can kind of let me know which ones are your favorite. Harris English, he has a really cool bag. G400 3-wood, G410 crossover, and a Ping Scottsdale Ho-Hum putter. Then you have Patrick Cantlay and Justin Thomas both playing 915 fairway woods. JT the FD version, Cantlay the F. Cantlay, he's got one of the most unique bags playing. He's got a TS2 7-wood, also 718 AP2 irons that he combos with a Strixon ZX5 Mark II 4 iron. That's pretty interesting.
Okay.
And you got Bobby Mack's Arrow Burner 3-wood. You have Justin Rose. That's 10-year-old fairway wood. You have Justin Rose playing an M6 fairway wood. Victor Hovland I210s, G425 LST driver still. And then a new one, Ludwig, he plays that White Hot Versa #1, but he actually put a AI1 insert in that putter now.
Yeah, so that AI1 insert is really good. It seems like players have taken liking to that. But it's a good list. I think it shows how much, there's value in comfortability, and if you find something you like it, I think so much of the equipment now, there are gains to be had, but at what cost to something you're so comfortable with is kind of what I'm seeing with these guys. Cantlay and JT playing a fairway wood that's over 10 years old. Robert McIntyre doing the same thing. And then you have, Victor Hovland. This was actually a conversation I had with some of the guys in the Ping truck earlier this year was, they were trying to work on, they were building him a set of I-240s to test out and play and see if they're going to work for him. And they're kind of like, he keeps going back to I-210s and G425 because he was playing his best golf a few years ago with those in the bag. And so I think, and he did win earlier this year as well, going back to that stuff. So it's fascinating to see these guys playing older stuff still. We love it too as we geek out on equipment because this stuff is all over our stores.
Yeah, really, really cool. I think my favorite is the Bobby Mack, the Arrow Burner 3-wood.
Yeah.
Just because, there's no more white golf clubs anymore, so that's kind of cool. And then I think, regardless of what your opinions are on Patrick Cantlay, his iron combination to mix brands like that for one club, I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's interesting. You could also mention Justin Rose going with
some unique one too,
Titleist and some Mira combos, and he does like a full combo set, not just one. So a lot of cool clubs. We have blogs on all of these up on our website. You can kind of do a deeper dive onto all the equipment that you'd like, and let us know, what you think of all these. So yeah, that wraps up kind of our Ryder Cup equipment breakdown.
Yeah. Tell us which club or which bag in the Ryder Cup is your favorite, because there's some really good ones up there. So go to the website, check out the detail and the deep dive.